Welcome back to Let's Play DDO Permadeath.
Ahead is the cellar where the Cannith Crystal is hidden. You can feel the life-saving heat emanating from the magic crystal Boldar spoke of. But from the shadows approach those who would doom Korthos by destroying it.
And as you can see today, Fossick is modelling the very latest in the oversized leather pauldrons. I picked up this leather armour in one of the quests yesterday, which is a slight improvement in my armour. But it is disturbingly silly looking. Okay, this one's tough without a summons. Okay, I think the crystal took a few hits, but it looks like I'm going to make it. I'm past the worst. This one's much harder, playing it without the summons. I was able to get through this at level 1 comfortably on my Pal Master. This guy's having a much harder time. Also not having charm. Charm, of course, makes this quest much easier. I guess no boss this time.
You have slain the last cultist, thus protecting the Cannith Crystal and saving Korthos.
My aim this session is to get through to Korthos Island. And hopefully find some trapping gear. So I might go to sacrifices for the troubleshooter's goggles. Trapping gear will open up a lot of the level 2 quests, because I was having trouble finding the traps at level 1, and some gear will be the best way to help with that. Because I maxed out in points in Disable. It's just that you need some gear as well, it seems, to hit the Elite Trap disease. There'll be lots of relatively easy quests like Dirks that open up once I have some trapping gear.
Your waiting bears fruit. This must be the Collaborator stepping in from the dark.
Wow, we're all Sahuagin. Ah, speak of the devil.
Your stalwart defense gives the Sahuagin pause, but you hear more of them gathering outside for a final assault. You notice a small chest hidden behind the bar.
All right. Yes, nothing is satisfying.
The Sahuagin storm. Now, after that traitorous Jacoby Drexelhand, he must have fled into the cellar.
Nothing as satisfying as landing a good trip.
Drexelhand isn't here. The chamber beyond the secret passage looks ancient, predating Korthos village.
Oh yes, +2 con belt. That'll be handy. Yes, the elite treasure chests in here. I'm pinning a lot of hope on these. I could do with some, well, I could do with any gear really. They have lots of open slots right now. Could do with a good dwarven axe as well. Yep, there's no question having the stunning blow trip. Those things are really handy on a melee character just to cut the amount of incoming damage a bit. Doesn't matter if they don't hit all the time, but if they hit some of the time, it helps a lot. Alright. Okay, well I've got a bit of healing, which is always important for this end fight. And I think my AC is good enough that I won't have too much trouble here. I've got a bit more equipment and I've leveled up, which I would normally not have done doing this quest. Because I've done the solos, I should be a bit stronger than I normally am for this fight.
There. That Weasley Drexelhand has nowhere left to run. Finish the job.
Yeah, he's having a hard time landing good hits.
who thought that siding with the Sahuagin would save his life.
That guy's no joke either. Quite possible to forget how tough that guy is and get killed after the main fight. Ah yes, better AC. I'll take that. Alright, that opens up the island. Yes, that plus con belt is a good early find.
Your victories have made the village much safer, but only temporarily. It's time to take the fight to the Sahuagin, out in the wilds of Korthos Island.
I should just check to see if I've got enough points for more enhancements. Don't think I have. No, only one spare. Alright. Okay, I should head over and do sacrifices, which is the easiest of the quests out here, and should give me some trapping gear, which will then help with the others. I doubt I can do redemption yet. Redemption's pretty tough these days. It's quite hard to keep Hayton alive, especially with no real healing. I'll be able to do that one a little better at level 3, although I still won't have proper healing. But sacrifices is dead easy, so let's go get that one done. And that'll give me the troubleshooter's goggles. The Explorer area will net some decent XP as well. My hope will be that with the easier stuff out here on the island, and the island XP itself, and maybe Cerulean Hills, and a couple of harbour quests, I can get to level 3.
mangled sewer grate leads to an old abandoned Cannith manufactory.
Okay, another action point, nice.
This broken structure once formed an elaborate aqueduct that channeled water across the island.
As people who've been watching my videos will know, I very often leave the explorer areas quite late because they're XP, because there's a wide level range.
Across a makeshift camp. A scraggly dwarf sits on a log, trying in vain to keep warm.
Because there's such a wide level range for them, you don't have to do them early. You can leave them later, and usually I find, because I tend to do as many of the quests as I think I can, I often have much more XP than I need to level up, so I end up leaving the explorer areas quite late. But right now I have the opposite problem. I would like to level up as fast as possible.
A bone-chilling breeze emanates from the mouth of Misery's Peak.
So the first couple of explorer areas I'll be doing as early as possible. So I grabbed the body feeder scimitar, of course, from the tavern quest. At these levels you can basically live on the body feeder hit points. So it's quite handy, saves some healing for all the trivial fights.
This entrance leads down into an ancient Cannith aqueduct.
There we go. The entrance didn't like me for a minute there. How am I doing? I'm doing quite well for money now, actually. For the first few quests I was worried about money, of course, because I needed to buy healing. But this guy's been getting some easily saleable loot in the first few quests, so he's already got decent money. And also it helps a lot for this guy that he can buy healing wands, which is a much cheaper way of healing than having to buy potions.
Resilient spider webs block your path. They don't look capable of withstanding blows from your weapon. The cells in this room hold a number of desperate Korthos villagers.
Nice of that guy to show up and let me get another body feeder hit. Alright, it's time for the swim for the chest down here. Okay, got an 18. Not sure how good my trapping skills are right now without equipment. Good enough for this one, it seems. I doubt I will be good enough to get the trap on the far side until I get a disable item. Or I guess a search item, more importantly. I certainly wasn't finding the traps in the first couple of quests that I did. Yeah, these poor guys can't keep up with the body feeder hit points. I'm going to leave the skeletal mage since I don't have any good bludgeoning weapons. Lots of people die trying to get that guy. So Permadeath players at least have largely given up trying to get the skeletal mage. When they're in Herald Elite anyway. Sweet, I can get the trap. Very nice.
You have reached the Devourer's sanctum. From ahead you hear a woman's plaintive cry for help.
My damage is still a little light on this guy, using the, at least using the scimitar. It'll get a lot better once I have a weapon with a secondary effect on it, like flaming or something of that kind. Alright, the person we're after is up there, so I should go down here, deal with the boss.
Evil cult leader will spill innocent blood no more.
Another potion of invisibility. Seeing a lot of those on this guy.
The last imprisoned villager grasps your outstretched hand, rising and running for freedom. The Devourer will not feast on the innocent tonight. Not on your watch.
I thought I had 3 action points to spend. I think the game has lost count. Alright, I will check on the rare down here, and then go back and take my enhancement points. Maybe do stopping the Sahuagin after that. Nope, still no rare. I can't remember if I actually picked up the Explorer over here.
Followers of the Devourer
I did, okay.
make sacrifices to their awful godless venture.
Alright, I'm gonna go take those enhancement points. Alright. So I did have 3 points to spend, so I took the first tier of improving my 2 weapon damage from the Tempest tree, and improved reactions for another +1 reflex save. Better saves against traps. And let's head on down and get stopping done. So I'm usually quite reluctant to do stopping elite at level, but since I can trap on this guy, I should be able to manage it. In fact, I think on my last guy I never did stopping the Sahuagin. I think I hadn't done it elite anyway.
Steam billows from the hidden entrance to an underground fortress.
Okay, this one's quite tricky on elite.
Damp and fetid as the ancient tunnel descends.
There's a lot of guys showing up behind you, which is tricky, especially solo. Lots of fighting on these in these rivers of water as well, which takes some of your control away. As you may be noticing, playing a melee character, there's a lot less tactics compared to playing the Pale Master. It's really about consistent technique playing melee characters. You take Sunder, Trip and Stun into every fight, and you make the most of them. It certainly makes a big difference to the amount of damage you have coming in if you make use of them consistently.
You hear a gate ratcheting open somewhere behind you.
Alright, I already found that one.
You hear a gate ratcheting open somewhere behind you.
Ironically, the harbour is one of the places where those tactics are least effective.
Which way to the giantish device?
Because in the harbour you deal with a lot of large groups of kobolds, where tripping one of them doesn't actually cut down the number of guys attacking you very much. But it helps a lot in more normal content like this, where it's small numbers of enemies coming at you. Through most of the game you spend a lot of time fighting groups of 2 or 3 enemies. If you can trip one and stun one, then that's going to make a
distant snoring warns you that you are not alone here.
Make a big
if you're
difference.
Careful, you may be able to take the sleeping guards by surprise.
Oh, I could just charge him. Plus, as I've mentioned, tripping stuff is one of the most satisfying attacks in the game. It may be nowhere near as powerful as trapping stuff in a web and a firewall, There's something much more satisfying about it.
The last Sahuagin guard collapses to the floor. But what are they guarding? The extravagant gong in this room looks capable of truly ear-shattering noise. With the gong's reverberations, you hear a slight rumble from the larger one. But then, it's the second strike of the gong produces the telltale sound of cracking ice.
Yes, I'll pick up those healing potions. I'll be using potions for a while. As I will have mentioned on my previous two videos, my versions of going through this quest on my previous two video Permadeath characters, this is one of my favourite quests in the game. Not so much now, since it's really easy, but certainly when I first got interested in the game, this was one of the quests that sold me on it. Just incorporates a lot of different ideas. It's kind of a mysterious quest. No, I really liked this one when I was first playing the game.
You spot a rusty hatch submerged in the putrid water. You emerge from the murky water with great relief. The air seems slightly cooler here.
Okay.
The temperature plunges as you ford ahead. The giantish device must be near.
Right. I should get up there and attack the spider while I've still got the body feeder on. Okay, now for the truly dangerous bit.
Ahead is the giantish device. The freezing mists it is spewing are directed the wrong way. With the right timing, you can get close enough to redirect them.
Well, with one side down, it's less crazily dangerous than it usually is. This is one of those quests that I do not do on elites without a trapper, because I don't like running through traps on Elite, and lots of Permadeath characters are lost in this trap. Ooh. Yeah, I do not like running through that one. But, it's a level 1 quest, and nobody wants to come back and do it again later. So people do like getting it done on Elite, but it's one it's easy to die in. Okay, I do have ransack, so...
The mist solidifies into ice over the ancient creature, but it's not enough. You need both jets to affect a thing of this size. A layer of ice forms over the ancient creature, guaranteeing its slumber. Korthos is safe. For now.
Alright. Getting pretty close now to level 3.
Steam billows from the hidden entrance to an underground complex.
Alright. While I'm down here, I'll get the remaining explorers on this side.
The Sahuagin have turned this tree into a site for sacrifices to the divine.
Well, there's a guide up there, but I don't think it's the rare. I think the rare would be... Yes, well, clearly not the rare because it's not named, and I don't see the rare up there.
The Sahuagin keep close tabs on the comings and goings of the Korthos village citizens from this overlook.
In fact, I could easily make it to level 3 just for the explorer area, I think.
Devourer cultists keep a watchful eye over the seas from this strategic lookout.
Right, I must still need the waterfall and the other quest entrance.
The
Yeah,
rumbling
check.
falls converge into a small body of water.
I can check a rare while I'm down here.
The decrepit catacombs are slightly obscured by the falling water.
Huh. 200 XP short.
You enter a musty hall, heavy with silence and the weight of dark stone. All of a sudden, the sense of rot and decay assail your nostrils. In the corner, you see the glint of metal through as the secret door slides open. You see a magical cell across the chamber. Could it be holding gruesome?
Yes, the fun of fighting bats on a melee character. Fun is probably not the word I'm looking for. And of course the other thing that goes with playing a melee character, the constant manoeuvring around to minimise the number of enemies attacking you. Alright, that is a downside to playing a two-weapon fighter in particular. I think two-handed fighters have a bit of an easier time catching bats, because they're effectively doing an area attack. Yeah, if you're carrying a big greatsword or a big great axe, swinging around you tend to hit the bats easier than you do with the short single target weapons on a two-weapon fighter, I think. Well, that's a positive from playing a Pal Master. Getting hit by searing lights and not nearly being killed by it. Searing light goes back to being a minor attack spell rather than a life or death matter. Alright, nice. I haven't hit the lever yet. That would be why nothing's happening. Alright, I'd like to split these guys up.
It cannot be. Jacoby Drexelhand stands before you, not alive, but not quite dead. He cackles as he swears vengeance upon you.
I'd like to split these guys up. They both do quite good melee damage. So on a melee guy like this, they can do a fair amount of harm. But there's really no reason to fight them together. If I were at level 3, I probably wouldn't care. I'd feel I was overpowered for them. But at level 2, I'm happy to play it cautiously. Wow, that skeleton's DR must be terrible. Even with a weaselly little dagger, I was able to get some decent damage to him with my dagger. I mean, I'm coming in with good strength on this guy, but even so. Not exactly the right weapon for fighting skeletons.
Drexelhand spits a curse and swears to return again before collapsing in a heap of bones. You take the cell key from his remains.
Yep, that's not at all useful. Alright, and I made level 3. Excellent. I should quickly check for the rare again, outside.
The decrepit catacombs are slightly obscured by the falling water.
Nope, still not here. Right, I'm gonna go take my level. Thanks for watching, see you next time.